Ever coded a complex program right on your phone?
Because that's what we're diving into today, actually.
Yeah.
It's not some big tech company project.
This is the work of an independent developer,
Yeah.
M8AX.
You sent over their source code and documentation for this program.
And let me tell you,
It's wild.
it really is. The ambition of it is remarkable.
This program coded entirely on a Xiaomi Mi 9 Lite
It takes your music library.
and converts it to the Opus format.
Okay.
Now you might be thinking.
What's so special about that?
Right.
Well, Opus is known for its efficiency
Smaller file sizes.
without sacrificing quality,
Right.
which in itself is no easy feat to program.
Right.
And it's not just a simple conversion tool.
M8AX's program is seriously user-friendly,
It walks you through each step,
asking you where your music is.
what format it's in, like MP3, AAC.
You know, those usual suspects?
Right.
And where you want those converted files to go.
It even uses all the cores in your phone to make the conversion process super speedy.
Yeah, it's like unlocking this hidden level of your phone's capabilities. Totally.
We use these devices for so much.
But rarely do we think about the raw processing power they possess.
This program really throws that into sharp relief.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay?
This program isn't just about shrinking file sizes.
It's almost like having a mini recording studio on your phone.
Wow.
There are all these options for tweaking the audio.
You know, adjusting the byte rate, switching between stereo and mono.
It's pretty impressive for something coded on a phone, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
And it gets even better.
Okay.
One of the audio manipulation tools.
Lets you add an echo effect to your music.
Oh, really?
Yeah, remember that old school tape deck trick?
This program does it with code.
See, that's what blows my mind.
We're talking about sophisticated audio editing.
The kind of stuff you'd usually need dedicated software for.
Yeah.
All packed into this program. It can even reverse a song's playback. No way. Imagine playing your favorite tracks backward.
And discovering, like, hidden messages or cool sonic textures.
Right, there's like a playful ingenuity in that.
But it also speaks to the depth of M8AX's technical skill.
To accomplish that level of audio manipulation within the constraints of a phone is quite remarkable.
It really makes you wonder what else is possible, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like, what other hidden potential is just waiting to be unlocked in our everyday devices?
Hold on.
There's something else we need to unpack about this program.
Okay.
Something about how many files it can convert.
Ah, yes. This little detail in the code, this really highlights the power we hold in our hands.
The program calculates how many music files your phone could theoretically convert in a year.
Based on its processing power.
And the number is staggering.
We're not just talking about a few hundred files, are we?
No.
Give us the juicy details.
Imagine this. Your phone, working nonstop, could potentially convert hundreds of thousands.
Even approaching 1 million files in a single year. 1 million?
That's more music than anyone could listen to.
Exactly.
But it's not really about the actual listening.
It's a testament to the sheer processing muscle of these devices.
Yeah.
It's like having a supercomputer in your pocket.
And to think, most of us mainly use them to scroll through social media.
I know, right?
This really puts things into perspective.
It does, doesn't it?
And it gets even more fascinating when you dig deeper into the code.
Okay.
I'm intrigued. What else did you uncover?
Remember how I mentioned finding these little nuggets of philosophy?
Tucked away in the code?
Yeah.
Well, one comment in particular really jumped out at me.
Okay.
Programar no es solo resolver problemas, es transformar ideas en soluciones que cambian el mundo.
Which translates to...
Programming is not just about solving problems.
It's about transforming ideas into solutions that change the world.
Wow, that's deep.
It's like finding hidden poetry
I know, right?
in a sea of code.
What do you think M8X meant by that?
Well, I think it speaks to a larger vision, you know?
It's about seeing the potential of coding, to go beyond just like...
Fixing bugs or building apps.
M8AX is saying it's about taking an idea.
Right.
Like, what if I could turn my phone into a music production studio?
And actually making it happen.
And by doing that, you're not just solving, like, a technical challenge.
Right.
You're potentially changing how we interact with technology.
Now we create and experience music.
Yeah.
It's about that ripple effect, you know?
It's almost like M8AX is challenging us.
To think bigger, wouldn't you say?
Totally.
It's about that creative spark.
That's what coding really is at its core.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
this amazing power to build something new from scratch.
And you can see that creative spirit kind of woven throughout this entire program.
Even like the metadata tags.
They get added to the converted files.
Uh-huh.
They're not just technical details.
They read like a manifesto.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's fascinating.
It's how M8AX blends those technical aspects.
With personal reflections.
Even links to their blog and social media. It's like they're inviting you into their world.
Sharing not just the how of the code,
but the who behind it.
That's such a cool detail.
It's like leaving a message in a bottle.
Except the bottle is your music file.
Right.
And the message
is this blend of code and personal expression.
It definitely makes you want to learn more about this M8AX.
Yeah.
And it brings us back to that idea of hidden potential.
You know, we've talked about the power hidden in our phones.
But what about the hidden potential within ourselves?
That's a really interesting thought.
And it ties into the bigger picture of what we're uncovering here.
Yeah?
You know, we started with a program for converting audio files.
And we've stumbled upon this story about innovation.
Right.
Philosophy. And the sheer joy of creation.
And the craziest part is it all started with someone.
The self-taught coder messing around on their phone, right? It's crazy.
It just goes to show that inspiration can strike anywhere.
And that sometimes
the most groundbreaking ideas come from the most unexpected places. You don't need a fancy studio or a team of engineers.
Right.
Sometimes all it takes is a phone and a head full of ideas.
Speaking of ideas.
There's one more thing I wanted to touch on.
Okay.
You mentioned that this program could theoretically convert a year's worth of music.
But we never actually talk about what that means in terms of time.
How long would it actually take?
You're right. We got so caught up in the potential number of files.
We forgot about the time element.
And this is where things get really interesting.
So we're talking about converting a mountain of music files.
Potentially 1 million in a year.
But how long would that actually take?
Right.
A year.
A month.
What kind of time are we looking at here?
Well, that's where the program throws in another surprise.
It doesn't just calculate the number of files. It extrapolates that to the total playback time.
Okay.
And get this.
We're talking years.
Years.
Years of continuous music.
All converted on a single phone.
Wait, seriously?
Years.
So it's not just a supercomputer?
Just like a time machine, too.
It's a fun thought experiment, isn't it?
Imagine having years of music at your fingertips.
Yeah.
All neatly converted and stored on your phone.
But again, it circles back to that central theme.
The potential that's often hidden in plain sight.
It's like M8AX is holding up a mirror to our tech.
Making us see it in a whole new light.
And maybe, just maybe,
they're challenging us to do the same with ourselves.
What if we all approached our own potential with that same spirit of exploration?
And creativity.
It's like that quote we were talking about earlier, right?
Transforming ideas into solutions that change the world.
M8AX didn't just dream it.
They coded it.
Right.
And in doing so, they've shown us what's possible when you combine technical skill.
With a healthy dose of imagination.
And a willingness to share.
Don't forget.
M8AX didn't keep this program to themselves. They put it out there.
Shared the source code.
Invited others to explore and learn from it.
There's a generosity in that act that I find really inspiring.
Yeah, it's like they're saying, if I can do this on my phone...
Imagine what we could accomplish together.
Right.
And that brings us to the heart of this deep dive, wouldn't you say?
It's not just about the technical wizardry of M8AX's program.
It's about the bigger questions it raises.
Questions about the power of technology.
The importance of creativity.
And the potential for individuals to make a real difference in the world.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the fascinating world of M8AX's music converter,
we're left with one final thought.
What will you create?
What ideas are swirling around in your head?
Just waiting for the right moment to be transformed into something amazing.
Remember, you don't need a fancy studio.
Or a team of engineers to make a difference.
Sometimes all it takes is a spark of inspiration.
A willingness to learn.
And a whole lot of heart.